I think I have finally outdone myself. We have thousands of hummingbirds that live here in our yard and gardens, and all kinds of birds as well. But they don't just come here for the food, they come here for the entertainment. It's not just entertainment, it is bird fountains and a lot of different things around here that attracts the birds here and keeps them peaceful and happy. I'm going to show you today how to make this fountain that I made that I'm going to have to say it's outshining everything I've done. It is the prettiest thing. It attracted the birds in the very moment I set it outside. They've been coming not only to drink, but of course to bathe, and they've been bringing their partners with them, which has been so cute. Wait till you see later, after I show you how to make it, what turned out. Other birds coming that decided to take it over, which is making me now get a whole bunch of these made because they're so portable. You lift them up, move them anywhere. We're going to get into about the 2-minute mark on how you can make this. Kick back, watch, and get ideas, because you may not want to do it exactly the way I did it. You may have your own ideas, but all these elements we use to put this together are so incredibly cheap. You can go to Dollar Tree, which I did, and I picked everything up for, I think, under $5. The point is, anybody can make this, and anybody can make all their birds happy, whether it's hummingbirds around your yard or other birds. So keep an eye out for some of these things, which you may have in the house. A food container. Okay, you may not have that silicone waffle tray. I had never seen one before, but let me tell you something. Not only does Dollar Tree carry it, but all the stores carry it, and I couldn't believe how cheap they are and how the birds love it. Why do they love it? They love the grip and the feel of it. They want to take a bath. They want to roll on it. They can perch on it, all the birds. So let's go in the house and I'll show you how to put it together. And look at this. You know, when he came, he took it over. You'll see later on at the end what they did. But I'm going to get a bunch of these made, and I just think they're the prettiest thing right now out there and so easy to clean, take care of. Well, let's get inside and let's make this thing already so you can make one too. All right, let's get this thing together. The first thing we want to do is let's move the basket, because we're going to work on the basket afterwards. This is the main thing. Now we can take the sticker off if it comes off. It does. I usually stick it on myself. I'll just stick it there. And we're going to open this up. You know what? Let me get my soldering iron plugged in, because I'm going to need that, and turn it on. This is it's called a flash fish, and it's not sponsored or anything. I actually bought a couple of these. We use these for an emergency. You can run your tablets on there, your phones, everything, lights, glue guns, soldering irons, and I can do everything around the yard. I'm going to get the cardboard off here. We don't need the cardboard, of course. We're going to get this thing out of the package. You know, I had never seen these before. And when I went and saw them, I got so, oh my goodness, so excited. I thought, I can do something with this. That's my trash can. And gee, I like that cardboard. Hold on, we'll keep the cardboard, because look how pretty that is. I might use it for something. Now, what we're going to do is the waffle thing, you fill it up this way. It's the way I'm going to put it on here. I believe this is going to work fantastic, because this, if all works out well, this will overflow, and it will overflow back into here. Now, the only way we're going to get the water back into this reservoir is to make sure this is full of holes, and we're going to do that. The other thing, let me explain on all the silicone mats and molds, you cannot use a soldering iron on it. This goes to about 600 degrees. Your soldering iron doesn't go that hot, so you're going to actually have to cut it. So I'm going to have to figure out exactly the way I want it. Now, I will let you know either way will work, but if I have the water come through here, the problem is it may just dribble out. But going this way and making sure the water comes out this way, I want all these to fill. I need a hole in the center. I'm going to use straws that you saw that Dollar Tree carries, but all the grocery stores, everybody carries these jumbo straws. You can go to the hardware store and you can get tubing if you'd rather, or even some of the tropical fish stores. Now, I want this hole in the middle to be as snug as possible. So what I've got is a tiny scissors, and I'm going to start really small, right in the middle. And I just want to see if I can cut it and force it through. If I make it too big, I can always do something else, but I really want to see if I can just get the smallest amount cut out. It's so easy to cut. I've used silicone before, but you cannot burn it. The only thing you can burn is plastic, and silicone isn't plastic. So if you remember, it's like melamine. You can't do malamic dishes. You cannot use a soldering iron on it. Now, will this overstretch? It does sometimes, but you can work with that. Worst comes to worst, I grab out my painter's tape and I tape up the hole. But this will stretch a little bit, so we'll kind of take it from there and just get that hole done. Okay, now we can always make it bigger. We can't make it smaller. Is this going to work? You know, it's going to work. Look at that. And see, it's stretching already. So let's hope for the best. Now, the other thing we want to do is find the middle. Now, sometimes, let me move this. Sometimes they're marked. They are not. So we're going to make a hole in the middle for the straw. And we're going to hope that everything goes back the way it wants. This is not heated up yet. I love these things. You know, it's really, I know a lot of you already told me you've got them and you love them and use them all over the garden. I can carry my soldering iron all over the place. And I can make holes in my totes. I can make holes in the hummingbird feeders when I want, not in the yard. I bring them in on maybe the patio and I make bigger holes for the orioles to get in. This has been like a life tool to me. All right, so this goes on this way. And remember, if you go down, when you pull out, you make a divot. It doesn't matter, but if you want a clean, smooth hole, then you work from the back side. Again, it doesn't matter, but just saying. Now, if I want to eye it, I do this all the time. I don't have a measuring tape. I would say that would be, you know what I should do? No, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to say the middle is around. Do I have it upside down? Yes. I'm going to say the middle is close enough to around there. We're going to get the hole in the middle because I see these two and then this way. If it's not perfect, I don't think it matters. And then we'll watch me find out later it does. Wow. This is a really light, thin plastic. So be really careful on these. They're so cheap because you get the lid and everything for the same price. It really melts quick. Make sure it's cool before you do anything with it. I would like to have this somewhat snug. Okay. We're going to go this way. All right. Gee, I could make it a tiny, tiny bit bigger. Like I said, it doesn't matter which way you go. But just very tiny. It's almost there. Just take your time and work slow. Let's see if that works now. Oh yeah, okay. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit bigger. All right, now the big thing is we're not making any more holes in here. Yeah, this is good. Well, this has to be loaded with holes because we're going to have our water inside the bottom and the water has to hit this lid. We can't do it backwards. I checked it, I looked at it. It doesn't snap on and then it will fill. See how it bulges? And we'll go back in here and run out. So it has to go this way, and we have to have all this with holes. So when the water comes up, overflows in here, that's the theory, it will run over. Now, I can trim this, and that I can do afterwards if I want to trim this off so there's no flaps. And I'm actually looking at this and thinking I may do that because if it goes over, you know what? I'm going to trim it. There's no reason to have that big flap. So let's get this trimmed right now because I want to make sure when that water overflows the waffle design, it goes straight into the container underneath. So we're going to do both sides. You can trim it as much as you want because the main thing is the waffle. It's going to fill up and it's going to, okay, so go back inside. Oh yeah, see now, if it overflows, it's going to definitely get here first and go back, but it's not going to go back yet until we make this full of holes. So we're going to make as many holes as we can because they're not taking a bath on top there. should have worn a mask, and I did not. So don't breathe. You really should do this outside. But I'm doing this so you can see it. And I want to make sure, and you can even put some holes underneath. It won't matter because this way, if it gets underneath the waffle tray, it will go back inside. Now remember, you can always go back later when you test it and make more holes. We just want to make sure, no matter what, that the water goes back into the reservoir. Be careful that you don't cut your wire in half with your soldering iron. I have never done that. But you know, be careful with the cord. But again, as many holes as you can. We want that water to trickle back inside. And we're not trying to create a pool or anything for other birds underneath because there's no room anyways. Okay, let's go ahead and just shut that off. We should be done with that. Now what we need to do is get a straw on the pump itself. Oh, I've never used this one. I thought I did, but it's all twisted. Let's get the cord out of my way. So I'm going to untwist this. And remember, this we could use as a solar, as a USB, as plugging it into the thing. All right. I'm going to cut off some pieces on this. I could cut off that straw. Why? Because look how long it's going to be. Yeah, I don't have to waste, I don't have to waste the straw. All right, the reason I'm going to cut this straw is, see, it's loose. There's two different ways of doing it. I've showed you in other videos. We can wrap painter's tape around here and do it. But a lot of times I just like using the straw itself. And you get a whole bag of these. So if you mess up, you should have like 50 straws, and they're $1. They're so cheap. Let's see if one will do. I think we need more. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Then I got to get a stick and get it out. Oh, there it is. Okay, sometimes they get stuck. Let's just use this one already. Okay. So we've got this one. Once it's on there really tight, we're good to go. But they're easy. If you get it stuck inside, that I've done, any stick will push it out. I think 2 will make it really snug. Do I have this off? Yes. This is why it's so great. I've got plugs, but I have to bend down, plug it in, bend down, unplug it. Oh yeah, look at this. Push it on really tight. Now you can dance with it and do what you want with it. And now we will have to make a notch. Which side is going to be the front? I could do it now or I could do it later. Now, why are we going to make a notch? This has got a light, by the way, which will look nice at night. Because I want to make sure that goes down. I wonder if it's still hot enough. I'll do it in the corner. You know, it doesn't matter where I do it. Let's just do it here. See if it's hot enough. No, yes it is. Okay, that's all I had to do. See, it stays hot for a long time. So a lot of times you can plug in your soldering iron and then unplug it from the wall and run outside and do your holes in your totes. But once you start using it, it cools down real fast. Okay, now the wire will go there and the lid will still snap on. Look at this. We're done. Is this amazing? We're done. We are done. And we can snap the lid on like this. Now, let me go back to the basket. This, we want to make sure the pump is exactly where we want it. Okay, so the pump is there. This is just going to go on like this. And now, if all goes well, the water will overflow. We're going to cut the straw down, but it's going to overflow here. And then we're going to have the water go back inside the tray. We may have to make more holes. You know, the more I look at it, we are going to have to make more holes. I'm going to go ahead and do it right away because I can see that. I don't know. It depends on how fast it runs. But it wouldn't hurt to have more holes. While that's heating up one more time, what I'm going to do with this, and I'm not going to do it with you doing it like this. I'm going to speed it up. You don't have to do anything. You could actually put this outside and you were good to go. I just thought it would look cute to put it in a basket and then maybe decorate the outside with flowers. Now I'm using plastic flowers. These are all plastic because you can wash it. So when you go outside to water your plants, if you've got it sitting on a patio, you can hit it with a hose and rinse it off. So that's what I'm going to do with this, and you'll see how I'll do it with any type of flowers you've got. The reason I said I was going to use this is I want to give it a little more support. And I just have these. I buy these for the birds outside. And I was going to put anything in there, see, because it doesn't quite reach the bottom. And I was figuring when it's full of water, it's going to pool, which wouldn't really matter. You know, honestly, it won't. Even if the top came off a little bit, it's still going to be held on by the pump itself, but I might give it support. So I may or may not use that. But this is how it's going to get set up outside. Then it's going to fill. It's going to go back inside here. And when you want to wash it, you take it out. Now, how often do you wash these? You know, I've heard people say they've got fountains outside and they've never changed the water. They just add to it. If it looks fairly clean because it's running water is not the same as standing water, you could do it once a week. Just open it up and dump it and then rinse it out and put it back. You don't have to overthink it. Think of what the birds are drinking and bathing in right now in the sewers. I see it. You walk around the streets, the city streets, they're in the sewers and they're splashing with all the gasoline and car oil and everything. So as long as it looks clean, but if you want, you could change it every few days. But I do it about once a week, though if it looks like it's got feathers and stuff in it, a lot of it, because this doesn't really get a lot inside, then you can just go ahead and dump it and do it. Do it whenever amount of time you want. You wait on that. So that's it. So now I'm just going to decorate the basket, and then when I get it set up, I'll see how it runs, and I will cut it. But I think for right now, I'm going to make a few more holes so when that water hits that plastic, because it's got a lip, I want to make sure that it hits the lip and runs right back inside. What is really nice is the water inside is locked. So some people worry about a bird falling in. Now birds can swim to a point, but if a baby bird fell in and it was very narrow and he couldn't find his way out, sometimes I stick sticks in fountains and ponds and stuff. An accident could happen. It's extremely rare. But this is completely sealed. You're not going to have anything falling in there, no lizards accidentally, because the top snaps on. Really nice. Don't put the hot soldering iron through your wire. Like I said, for this, more is better. If you wanted it to pull on the top, because birds are going to take a bath there, then you wouldn't put that many. But you don't need it to pull because it's too shallow. Okay, we're good to go. So here I took my plastic flowers and kind of laid them out where I want them, and then I simply used zip ties. It's the easiest, fastest thing for me, but of course you could use anything you want. You want to tie it on with yarn, you want to use bread ties if you've got, anything will do. But it took that basket that was kind of on the plain side, and it really changed it up. I think it changed the whole look of this fountain. To be honest, I think this is one of the prettiest fountains I've ever put together. It's so colorful, and it really is one of the cheapest fountains I've ever put together. And it was so quick to assemble. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to test it. See if I did a total failure or what's going on. We're going to lift this up. Is it sticking? It was sticking to the bottom. And we're going to fill this with water. That's the first thing we're going to do. Let's get this full of water. It does take a lot of water. That's good for really warm days. Okay, now we're going to put this on here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Got to make sure. We got to make sure we don't look like a fool. Here we go. I got a paper towel. Okay, here we go. Oh, we want to still cut it. They're filling. We got this one full, this one almost full. A little piece of dirt. And there it goes. There it goes. Are you going to overflow? Where are you going? Where are you going? No, it's going in. You know what? I'm going to add more holes. Okay, I can see what we have to do. Nothing has spilled over. I want to add more holes around before I put it outside. And you want to make sure, because there's such a small lip around here, that it's level. And it looks like my table's not. It's leaning that way, but that's okay. But it works. It works perfect. So make sure you're on a level surface. And I think we're going to put as many holes as we can around. And I'm going to go back and do that. And then we're going to get this outside. The other thing I want to do right now, let's get this done, is we're going to cut it. We're not looking for a hummingbird to take a bath here. We want the hummingbirds to come down here. They love silicone. And it also will create less splash. Now let's try it. Let's see if it works a little bit. I mean, this is fine. But like I said, it's going to depend on how level we are. And then we can manipulate it to make sure, there it goes. You know, it really does have enough holes. And see, if it was level a little bit, now it will go to the back side as well. So we're not level here. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh my goodness. This is perfect. Just make sure you're sitting level or get a whole bunch more holes. But nothing is splashing. It's working. You can see it. I'm so excited. I want to get this out. I want to get it out right now because it's hot today. And I think the hummingbirds are going to come by and they're going to go, oh my goodness, look at this, because they love this. Now what I may do when I first take it out, I might put a rock around, a few rocks, because they know rocks. When they come to a pond, they land on the rocks and then they kind of test the water. Because they have never seen this before. So they may not realize, oh, I can stand here. Once they know it, you can take the rocks away. Or you can leave them for looks. Either way, this is perfect. I really don't need to add any more holes. This is good to go. Let's get this outside. And notice, once I go outside, I can switch this and I could put on a solar kit if I wanted. Or I can put it on these little, foam batteries, because then I can turn it off at night if I want. And save the battery. It'll last about 3-4 days. You can leave it on all night, which I do. I have 2 batteries. I just swap them out. And the thing is, if you're putting this in the shade, it won't matter. You have to have this panel in the sun, which means you could put this in the shade and that in the sun. But with this, you can put the whole thing under a different, canopy, and it will be good to go. Let's get this outside. I'm so excited. I don't know who's more excited, me or the birds, because the very moment I set this outside, all the birds started coming to it. They loved the feel. Once they landed on it and felt the silicone on their feet, it was like a spa. This is the greatest thing in the world. The problem is we have thousands of hummingbirds and hundreds of other species of wild birds here too. Oh, look at his tongue. Was that not cute? But I need to get more of these out there because I want them to be happy. This is the whole idea of having the community of birds in our gardens around here, keeping them peaceful and happy to keep the fighting or quarreling down. So I think the answer will be to make more of these. And I think what's great is you can sit these anywhere. And they're so pretty. Look how pretty they are and colorful. And it's not just something that's going to be garden art or garden decor. It's something functional. And your birds are going to be so thrilled when they fly by and see that, land on it, test it, and go, wow, like this hummingbird. This is so cool. And this silicone, it always stays cool, even in the hot sun. It won't get hot on their feet. You can always toss a couple ice cubes in there in the summer in the tray underneath. So I think this is going to be the hit of the garden. And being so cheap for any of us to make, I mean, you may have a tray already in your kitchen that you're not using, the plastic tray, and then all you need to do is get that silicone top, which you can find everywhere. I didn't even know Walmart had it for a couple bucks. We can find this stuff and put it together. And this Oriole, he showed up and he's decided that fountain is his. He wants to use that bird bath for himself. And anytime the other birds come, when he's there, he chases them off, which means I definitely will be making more. I'm going to do more fountain videos, even on this style, because this style has just been so phenomenal, so beautiful, and easy to make and easy to move around. The portability on it is amazing. And just think of giving something like this as a gift. go over to their house, going to a garden party, make one, sit it off to the side, and you all may be sitting around entertained with all the local birds in your friend's garden. So I hope you enjoyed this. Throw your questions out there because it keeps my brain going and thinking of so many things to do. So with that, have a wonderful day, and don't forget to eat what you grow. And boy, it is so hard to get anything done around here watching all these birds. Oh my goodness. Bye-bye.